Talkyashit, a podcast where we don't give no you, and you. Oh, and did I say you? Yeah, you too. Now, let's talk about it.
What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy Big Slick. I'm your host. This is my podcast called Talk Yo Shit. That's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to talk our shit. First of all, I want to thank all the listeners that's out there. Everybody that's at work, everybody that's at home. If you're in your car listening to this right now, and my truck drivers on the road right now, I appreciate you tuning in to talk your shit. Oh man, we got a great show today. Another great show today. Somebody else wrote into the Let's Talk About It letter, and that's what we do. You write in, I talk about your letter, give my opinion on it, and then we go from there. The way you write in is that you email talkyashitdaily@gmail.com. That's that's YA shit daily at gmail.com. I'll pick your letter. We go on the air with it, and I give you my honest opinion. Unfiltered, not sugarcoated. We don't do no sugarcoating around here. The name of the podcast is Talk Your Shit. Come on. Why are we sugarcoating anything? It's not going to happen. So we're going to jump right into this letter without further ado. Let's get it. All right. Relationships. Should all relationships be rekindled if both people see eye to eye? Can people change or the past be left in the past? Say I'm in love with two women, but you want the one that's right for you. Should these things have clear signs? Or if you know who you want in your heart, what's the best way not to interact with somebody who doesn't have your best interest at heart or want the same goal you want? All right, let's address the first part of the letter. So the first part of the letter is all relationships should you rekindle. All right, so let's see. Let's dive into that. Should you rekindle an old relationship? First of all, you got to ask yourself why it's an old relationship. What happened? What happened to where it's not a relationship no more? What transpired? Right? Is that something you can get over? Is that something that one of y'all might be holding a grudge? It might not be you. It might be the girl. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? So it's a lot of things you can think about with that situation. Did you split up? I don't know who left who, because it's not that don't say in a letter, it just said you separated or whatever because you didn't see eye to eye. So what's making you see eye to eye now? Like what changed? What transpired between the time of the breakup and right now? And how long have you been apart? That's not in here either. Like how long have you been apart? It could have been a breakup to where who knows, y'all both want to go test the waters to see what's out there, what's better out there. You don't see nothing else better. Now you want to come back to each other or whatever. But that's not a reason to get back with somebody. If you left for a reason. So rekindling relationships is kind of touchy because what happened is that if you wanted to really work on a relationship, it shouldn't have been a separation. It should have been something that y'all both worked through together. So it had to be a point where y'all both just gave up on a relationship. Or maybe one of y'all gave up on a relationship and the other person wanted one. I don't know how that went, but y'all separated, so something transpired. So that's another thing you got to think about. So it's kind of touchy rekindling old relationships because what'll happen is that okay, in the beginning, it'll be good. And then it might just go right back to what it was before. So I don't know. Depending on how long the separation was, you might just want to leave that in the past. I, that's a touchy one. If it wasn't right for you then, what makes it right for you now? Some people might have the opinion to go, you know what? Sometimes people change, or it could have been some growth there. Yeah, it could have been. It could have been, but that's a chance you got to take. If it really was growth there or not. That person might be fronting for the first couple of months and saying everything right just to get back in to make your life miserable again. Who knows? You never know what's on somebody's mind. So getting back with somebody you've been with already, mm, I don't know about that. And I wouldn't jump back into it anyway. I wouldn't, and I don't know if the separation was it a bad breakup or was it a mutual breakup to where y'all still cool with each other? You know what I'm saying? If y'all still cool with each other, then I would just say stay cool with each other and see how that goes. That's what I would do. But then again, that's kind of touchy because if you're getting into a new relationship, no new girl wants you to be cool with an ex. That's I don't know how that works. Or maybe they will. Things is different. I don't know. But that just seems kind of weird that you'll be chilling with an ex girl and that's your home girl and got a new girl that you're trying to get with. But who knows? Stuff works, man. You never know. It can work out. Different things work out. You never know. You never know with that. But rekindling it, I personally, my opinion, I wouldn't fuck with it. I leave the shit where it's at. You broke up for a reason. You was apart for a reason. Leave it alone. Move on. Push it. Keep it pushing. Leave that in the past. That's a done deal. That's what I would do on that part of the situation right here. I wouldn't rekindle it unless you saw this person do a complete 180 and you like, oh wow, you're such a different person or something. I don't know, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. I just keep it moving. That's my personal opinion on that. Let's jump deeper into this letter. All right. I'm in love with two women, but but want the one that's right for you. Okay, you're in love with two women. All right, pimping. We got pimping. You've been pimping since pimping. Said he got two of them. Right. So, all right. So is both of them in love with you? Is the question. Right? Is do they both feel the same way? And your question is, you're asking me, how would you know that? So how would you know that is communication? You got to talk to both of them to see if y'all do share the same goals, you know, in the same things. You got to find that out. You know what I mean? So that's going to happen with communication. And if it's the one for you, she's going to communicate this anyway, straight to you. You know, it shouldn't be no sugarcoating nothing. It should be straight up and down expectations and all that. What type of relationship is going to be. Everything need to be explained in the beginning. You know what I mean? People use terms now. They just kicking it or, whatever, what is it? You're my girl. We're serious. What's going on. So all this need to be discussed with, the two women that you're talking about. You might got a little love for them, but do both of them got love for you is the question. Pin, 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 pin. You know what I'm saying? So I would communicate that and see um and what's going on. And then another question is do you really love both of them? Like you feel the same thing when you with each, one of them? You know what I'm saying? Do you feel the same way? I don't know. You might be related to Neo or something. He got four at the crib. You talking about two. You might be the little nephew or something. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just saying. When you're around both of them, how do you feel? Do you feel, you got like butterflies, you're excited to see them equally? Do you talk to them equally on the phone? When you see your phone ring and you see it's this person, do you have the same excitement when it's the other person? Which one of these female communicate with you more? Which one talk about a future more? Which one talk about goals more? Which one is more driven and more concerned about you and asks you what's your goals, right? Because somebody that's just talking about themselves all day, that's not somebody you want to build a relationship with anyway. They're not asking you what you got going on, how you feel about certain situations, and what your future want to, what you want your future to be like. So that's another way to determine, you know, which one is feeling the same way that you're feeling. If they're genuinely asking things about you, you, your family, things you like, your interests. They just talking about their interests, you know, that's not a relationship. Run from that. But if somebody is truly interested in you, they're going to ask you about yourself. You know what I'm saying? The same way you ask her about what she got going on, she should be asking you the same thing. So that's one of the ways, that's definitely the major way to determine, who you should be rocking with, right? Definitely. So Pimpin said Pimpin got two. But yeah, so that's definitely what I would do, man. Just communicate with them, see who's on the same page, and all this come through communication. You know what I'm saying? If it's the right one for you, then this shouldn't be a problem. And women, especially the one that's interested in you, have no problem communicating their interests and their goals, what they want, and expectations. If they're serious and interested in you, because women have no problem communicating. But if she's not saying all of that, then she's not really feeling you like that if she's not communicating. So that's the way I would decide between both of those situations, and then go from there. And then again, follow your heart, follow your instinct. You know, a feeling you get when you're around somebody before they even talk, before they even start saying anything to you. You get a certain feeling. Do you feel that way with both of them? I don't know. This is something you got to put to the test, and when you find out, make sure you write back in to the Let's Talk About It letter so we can talk about it again, man. And I can talk my shit about this, man. I want the results of this right here. Please, whoever sent this in, I need a follow-up on this. Give me a follow-up on this discussion. I need to know what's going on with this. You know what I mean? I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that writes in to the Let's Talk About It letter. I appreciate it. Again, you send in your letter, you email it to Talk Your Shit Daily. That's Talk YA Shit Daily at gmail.com. I'll pick your letter. I'll put it on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to talk my shit. And then we can go from there. You know what I mean? I enjoy everybody tuning in. Again, I want to make the audience a part of the show. I want to make you a part of the show. I don't want to just be here talking, all day. I want you to be a part of the show. So keep on sending in them emails, man. These letters are great. I've been getting a few in. They're great. Keep on sending them in. All right? You already know what it is. It's Big Slick. This is Talk Your Shit. Peace.